we start. So, all right, let's check it out. So far, I don't see anything. Okay, we are officially live. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you the finest of Batman and Superman pop culture from Metropolis. I am Josh from BatYard Productions.
I am Leah, all the way from Themyscira. Today with us, we have the chameleon of cosplay. He is Steve Trevor, he is Superman, he is Captain America, and so many more. He is Jake Fogg. How are you today, Jake?
I am awesome, guys. Wow, that is an introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on. This is a real treat for us. This is great. I'm really excited to really get into this conversation. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. No, it's a pleasure being here. I appreciate being on with you guys.
Excellent. So let's get right into it.
Let's go.
So for those of you who don't know, this is Jake Fogg after our wonderful introduction. So Jake, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into all the other characters you turn into.
Yeah, so I am 31. I am from the Washington, D.C. area. I live in Virginia, just south of D.C. I grew up a athlete, so it was a weird blend of like nerd and jock at the same time. I played football, basketball, baseball. Football was like my main sport growing up. Had a string of injuries with my knee and back, so stopped playing. Lived in North Carolina for a long time. I work in the telecom space for my career. I'm a sales director. Enjoy working with people, and then in my free time, I did drama and stuff in school, so do a little bit of acting. Yeah, I did a little bit of acting. I just started getting back into some acting as well, doing some modeling, acting, cosplaying, and then I'm a dog dad to an awesome German Shepherd Husky mix, which you've probably seen on my page, that doubles up as Crypto. He cosplays along with me, and yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm a huge comic book fan, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, anything. I'm all for it. I'm going to Mortal Kombat immediately after this interview, so we are ready to roll.
Oh yeah. I know we're on a time crunch show, so yeah, we don't want you to be late for that.
We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, so like, how did you get started in acting?
Yeah, I did a drama in high school. I played Gaston in high school in a few plays. Awesome. I've always been a bigger guy because of sports. I was always in the gym, so I was always like a tree or like whatever the biggest person was being in a play. I'm just like always that guy. So I just had fun with it. I always loved movies. Ever since I was a kid, I was just engulfed in film and loved characters and all that. So it's just something that's fun. I love dressing up in a costume and being somebody that's completely unlike yourself. It's just a very fun experience. So was fortunate enough to know a couple people that were in the industry that were looking to do some like very small indie films. And through cosplay, actually, on my Instagram page, I've had fortunate enough to have people reach out to me for different roles. I'm currently doing a detective film where I'm playing a detective in a thriller movie. It's a true story about a serial killer in this, actually the area I live in, like back in the 70s. So that's really fun. I'm going to be doing a Batman fan film where I get to play Batman, which I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, it's going to be very fun. I love acting.
Wow.
You guys should exchange notes. Josh, you were a guest on once.
Well, no, that was only for Halloween. I didn't do it for official play or anything.
He's
so
fun.
I like Gaston's one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. So that's awesome that you got to play him. How did that feel, like embodying that character? Like, he's very cocky and kind of over the top. So how did that feel?
Again, it's really fun. Like, I'm a very not that. Like, I even with my own cosplays, like I'm like it feels like silly me to myself. Like I just feel like goofy and and silly, and I don't take myself seriously at all. And it's funny, even with like the Superman pictures that I have, like there's like, to me, like I see like the backstory of like, oh, to get that pose, like I fell down or like my cape fell over, and like people don't know that, but like I see that. So it's fun to play a guy who's just like so just in love with himself and just just all about himself. I can, you know, he can sing and he's strong and he's just thinks he could get anybody he wants, and it's fun. It's just, again, it's fun to play characters that are just like completely opposite from how you are. So it was a fun experience.
Yeah, kind of embodying someone, you know, like he's like on another level. You know?
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's awesome.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about this fan film. Can you mention like any details or kind of you know, reveal anything about that?
Yeah. So we're currently working on a script, just throwing around ideas. I'm currently looking at my suit, which just arrived about a week ago from Napier's, who also made my Superman suit. It's very it's a Batman Hush slash comic version, like blended together. It's very, very cool. But basically, we wanted, you know, with Batman, as you know, there's so many iterations and different stories with his character, and we wanted to do something a little different. So it's really, you know, it's very small. So we're like, what can we do that's very grounded, very simple to make, but yet still feels true to Batman? So we're really focusing on the almost like the split personality of him, of how Bruce Wayne's really the mask, and he really fights with that addiction of being Batman, who his true self is. So just kind of in his early days, how he juggles that and how he deals with, you know, just being obsessed with being Batman, but having to put on a full front to be Bruce Wayne, where he's so well known and has to be in the public eye and you know, run a company, and yet, you know, that's not him at all. It's just an act. So it's cool. It's like playing two characters at once, and really diving into the psychology of, you know, truly a guy who's very messed up in the head in his own right. You know, he's brilliant and he's a genius, but just that torment that he has from his past. So that's really where the focus is going to be. One of my good friends is going to be Commissioner Gordon, which is cool. We're still looking for potentially like a Robin. We're doing a little bit of a fun with the gender bend Joker, so it's going to be like a female Joker, and she's great. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're like looking at cool locations right now, so it's going to be very, very cool and exciting.
Yeah, that almost really sounds like Flashpoint Joker or something. Yes. When his mom becomes the Joker.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's going to be titled Bruce because again, it's going to be focused on that psychology. So it's going to be very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely let us know when that comes out, because
I'd be really excited. Yeah, if you know, if you need a Robin, I'll try my best. You know,
hey, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You have two.
I know it's a little ways away, you know, but I'll do what I can.
Let's do it. I like it.
You have two very ready and willing volunteers right here.
Yeah, well, sure. We'll even be the guy. We'll even be the people who grab the coffee for you. So that we'll even do that.
No, we got. Yeah, I see Robin and Batgirl. I like it.
Okay. Well, no, that's really cool. Do you know like how long this fan film's going to be? Is it going to be feature length, or is it going to be like a short? Do you
we're trying to obviously we're still trying to figure that out. Obviously, when there's not much of a budget, it's a little difficult. So trying to work through, you know, what locations work, but we're hoping it can be at least over a half hour, 45 minutes at least, and then push. You know, a prime scenario, if we can get to an hour or something like that, that would be great. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, just kind of taking it as it comes. It's an original idea, and just hoping that it's well received, because everybody has like an opinion on that character, and I don't want to be like George Clooney to everybody and just everybody hates me. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, I think George Clooney gets a little bit of a bad rap. I mean, he obviously didn't care throughout that whole film. You could just tell, like, he just did not care. But you know, I think he could actually be a good Batman if it was under the right direction. You know, so I don't really blame him.
Exactly.
No, that's really cool. I mean, we if you need any promotion on our end, we'll obviously help you out in any way we can. We're always, we're all about like helping out other cosplayers, other people who are interested in different mediums and everything. So if
I appreciate it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. No, well, we know how it is like making fan films with no budgets. We made a Batman versus Superman fan film. It's currently in post production. We're editing it together, so it's kind of like a long monstrosity. Like,
I didn't get cast as either character. Like, dang.
Well, this so this was with like a shoestring budget. So yeah, we couldn't even afford you if we wanted to.
Oh, I would have done it for free. I just do it. I just do it for fun.
You see us like running around in the woods. I remember there were these.
Yeah, most of our locations were in the woods, so that'll tell you something.
When the first day I remember, so this is literally my first day on set. I was Wonder Woman, and these hikers came in and they're like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Oh, we're making a movie."
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I've had some very funny interactions with people like doing photo shoots and stuff. It's very awkward, especially when it's just you. Like it's if there's like two other people dressed up, like then it's like, oh, like they must be doing something. But when it's literally just you just look like an idiot, and people are just staring at you like, is it Halloween, dude? Like, what is happening right now?
What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I got some hilarious stories from some of the photo shoots. It makes it fun.
You'll definitely.
Do you have any highlights? Like any? Yeah. Do you have any stories that like stick out to you? Like on top of your head?
Well, my Captain America shoot, for one, it was 105 degrees out, so it was exceptionally hot, and the suit is just super thick and layered and brutal. So I did a shoot with Astro Void cosplay who did Black Widow, and she was just dumping water down my suit just to keep me like cool. But there was one particular shoot where like I was up on a ridge, and it looked really nice, but what you can't see in the picture is like, I don't know, 30 yards behind me there's like a road, and I did this like very like serious face picture, and like right when they hit snap, a car went by in the background, and I just heard, "That's America's ass!" And like I just lost it, and just like,
awesome.
Yeah, I just like I just laughed hysterically. So that was definitely one. And then when I did the Batman costume with the Robert Pattinson version, people were so perplexed, and I got asked twice if I was Robert Pattinson, in which I asked, yes, I am. And yeah, you just roll with it. But no, it was just funny. Like we were doing pictures, and there were probably like 20 people just like taking pictures of us taking pictures because they had no idea what was happening. It was like, but in my head, I'm like, you think like one camera guy and like just one actor can do like a full okay, that's fine. But that was cool.
Because then they'll be in on it. Then they're part of the in the know.
Yeah, and I mean, just anytime like with Superman and stuff, just if I run into a kid or just like they don't see you, like they truly see, that character. So they're just like, and I've had kids, especially with Superman, it's very nerve wracking because they'll ask you certain things. I'm just like, please don't ask me to fly or like whatever. But this one kid came up to me serious as can be and was like, "Could you beat up my dad?" And I was just like, oh my God.
Gosh.
I was like, I had to be so serious. Like, I mean, we don't do violence and we all that good stuff. So yeah, it's just it's fine to keep a straight face.
Yeah. You work on your improv.
Yeah, you really do. But I mean, you try and stay in character for like kids, and that's why I got into it. It was to be able to help other people and kids especially because their minds just truly sees that character, whoever it might be, and it's very rewarding because I was like, I love contributing and volunteering and doing things like that, but I was like, I can do so much, but Superman and Batman can do like way more because they light up and that's the fun part of it. So you try and stay in character and even though they say some really funny things, it's really, really rewarding. So it's very cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was really awesome. They like elevate you, like feel like on top of the world at that point. You're like riding that energy wave, you know.
It's funny. It's funny because it's usually like parents with kids, and they're like, "Can like my son take a picture with you?" And you're like, "Yeah, of course." And you take it, and they like, you can tell like they want to as well, and they just start like, "Can we also hop in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like come on, like, everybody in." Like it's fun, but it's funny come some of the parents. Like I can immediately tell when it's like a parent that's like a geek at heart too, because they're just like, you can just kind of tell like, "Can I?" I'm just like, just come on, it's fun, it's fun.
Yeah, the more the merrier. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, that's.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead, Leah.
Oh, well, I was just gonna ask, so you do play Superman. Now do you have a favorite character? Because just looking through your Instagram, you have Steve Trevor, you have Captain America, you have Batman, Superman, and multiple others. Do you have a favorite, or do you kind of gravitate toward any one?
It's a tough. My favorite character growing up was always Batman. He was always my favorite, but when I first got into cosplay, I was like, I noticed there were so many Batman cosplayers, so I was like, okay, well, Batman and Superman have always been like my two. Like, I just feel like I didn't see a lot of Superman, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try that. So I ordered my first costume was the Ben Affleck suit, and it came to me, and it didn't even remotely fit. So I was like, okay, maybe there's a sign that I'm gonna do Superman. So he's really cool, just because within like edits, there's just so many things you can do with him, because he can fly, he can the laser, the frost breath. There's so many cool aspects you can do with him, and really, I would say the people I've met, they usually compliment or know me from doing Superman. So I would say to date, the Superman so far, but Batman with this new bat suit, that is, I have a feeling it might change here once I get a chance to do that. But yeah, they're all special, and I think it's really cool. They all kind of have their own unique backstory of how I got into it, and their own perks. So yeah. But for now, Superman, I'll go with him.
Now, because I wanted to follow up with that with Steve Trevor. Now, Steve Trevor is obviously the love interest for Wonder Woman, but he's super. I don't want to say he's not super, because he is super, but he doesn't have powers. He doesn't have money like Batman. So what attracts you to cosplaying him? Besides the fact that you obviously look very much like Steve Trevor.
Yeah, that. So I loved Wonder Woman, and I love Chris Pine as an actor. I loved him in Star Trek, and I guess I really need to do Captain Kirk at some point, just because. But so I had no plans on doing him, but Liz Wonder, as I'm sure everybody knows, she was like, "Oh my God, like you're Steve Trevor," and I was like, "Okay, what does that mean?" And she's like, "I need you to be Steve Trevor with me." Like, I literally didn't even have a TikTok, and she's like, "Download TikTok and duet me as Steve Trevor, like you look like Chris Pine." And then she was like, "You need to buy these contacts to make your eyes like this," and I was like, okay. I mean, it's Liz Wonder, so like, what are you gonna do? So I did it, and that's literally how I got into Steve Trevor, was because it was a on-demand order by Liz Wonder, and it's great because it's the easiest cosplay ever. I just whip my hair and throw on a jacket and a sweater, and it's comfy, and I don't have to put on a muscle suit, or it's just great. You just get to relax, and it's very just casual, and it's different, which is fun. I need to finish up the 84 edition with like a fanny pack or something. It's hard to find a fanny pack everywhere. It's like on Amazon, but
the right one, not just anyone, the right one.
Yeah, but it's literally it's pretty much just because I look like Chris Pine. That's the honest answer. And even I think it's funny with like even Superman in my pictures, people are just like, "You look like Chris Pine as Superman." I'm just like, damn it. Like, that's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to not okay. But it is what it is.
So was this in your early days of cosplay? This is more recent. This is like, how did you be? I don't want to say involved, but did she find you from playing Superman, or did she find you before early on?
So I honestly didn't know that cosplay was like a thing. I mean, I knew cosplay existed, but I didn't know it was like such a big community for the longest time. And like I was like, I wanted to act and do superheroes is also always like anybody's dream to be a superhero. But my friends were like, you should do cosplay. And I really took a long time, like months, figuring out like, okay, if I'm going to do this, like, I'm just one of those people, I want to just go 110%. So I'm like, okay, I want to get like, who's the best cosplay or costume maker? Who are some of like the best, you know, most people that inspire me? I'm like, wow, like how can I? So before I even got into cosplay, honestly, I just on a whim reached out to her, not expecting, you know, her to even see my message or anything. It's just like, hey, I appreciate your work. Like, I just, you know, I wanted to just get some knowledge, and she responded, and she was just the kindest person, and gave me a lot of cool insight on, you know, who I should talk to, and referred me and also like National Night, Mass Mateo, like those guys as well. Just some really, really beautiful people that just kind of gave me advice at first. And then as I progressed and started doing like even my first couple pictures, like they would share it, even though like I had like no followers at all. I was just like, oh, like this is really cool that they're doing that. And then we just kind of formed a really good friendship. And then the Chris Pine stuff started ticking, and it just rolled into it. And now, you know, they're all really good friends of mine as well. I love doing stuff with them. So yeah, it's a really cool story. They're just wonderful people, and that's pretty much how it came about before I even started, which is even cooler than them just seeing my picture or something. Like, they were just nice enough to take time to just help me before I even started.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Liz Wonder is pretty responsive with her fans. I mean, we contacted her, we interviewed her. She was like one of her first interviews that we did, and that was really cool. Like, she actually responded to us.
Yeah,
we actually got to talk to her.
She's one of them. If you go through my pictures as Superman, you will see her comment Steve multiple times, because she just loves the fact that I look like Chris Pine. So,
well, I was gonna ask you. You have a collaboration with her and Queen Hippolyta. Now, who was the other wonderful person that you did that with? Because you all look, you know, spot on.
She's Susie Creates Cosplay. She is a very talented cosplayer herself. She does Wonder Woman. She does Queen Hippolyta, which she nails that character. She's just amazing. She does Captain Marvel. She does some Marvel characters, but what I love about her is she actually just makes all her own stuff. Like, I don't know how to make any of that stuff. I give it to the people who can. It's an unbelievable talent, but she makes all her own stuff, and you know, it's just cool with cosplay. You just meet so many people from all different areas of life and the world, and just, you know, you just appreciate each other's work. And we just got connected, and that picture was edited by the late great Brian Zapp, who just absolutely was magical, as he always was. And yeah, it's a fun little trio that we had in that one. I definitely cannot wait, because it's funny, I've actually never been to a Comic-Con in cosplay, because I started less than a year ago, and it was during COVID. So I've never even like really formally met, you know, so many of these guys. So I'm ready. I'm like, come on, I have so many people I need to meet. But yeah, she's also incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was going to ask you what your like favorite con moments, but like, have you been to any conventions like prior to cosplay or anything?
I've been to the Oak City Comic-Con in Raleigh, North Carolina once as myself, and the highlight, like the big character that was there was Stanley from The Office. He was probably like the big draw that was there, which was awesome. He was eating Bojangles fried chicken and sweet tea at his dad's, and I was like,
that's
thank
cool.
you. Yes, you were exactly what I was hoping you would be. But yeah, that's it. I've been to some very small ones. But I mean, I'm hoping to go to New York and Dragon Con and MegaCon and all the big ones, you know, hopefully in the future, just waiting for the queue for them to finally come out and do them. So hopefully soon, soon.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, you never know. I mean, it could be sooner than later.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed. Well, I mean, we live in the state of New York, and we still haven't gone to the New York Comic Con, so it's
that one's
that's
definitely
on
up
us.
there for me.
Yeah,
that's up there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see you there.
Yes. Yeah, maybe. Absolutely, for sure. I'll be the guy with the pointy ears. Just look for me.
Okay. Yeah, we'll find you. There might be a few people with pointy ears, but we'll
yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
definitely find that
I have a plan. Like
line.
on the day I want to just go as myself. Basically, I'm just gonna do Steve because it's just like wearing regular clothes, and it's like I'm kind of cosplaying, but I can just
be a lot more comfortable. You know, kind of moving around, especially with the conventions. You get, you know, it's pretty physical. You know, just walking around with those costumes.
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's exhausting, and especially like the bigger costume. I mean, especially like Batman because there's no body heat. It just stays right there, and you're just drenched. So yes.
Yeah, you're kind of like stuck to the suit at that point.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I've been talking. You go.
I just wanted to ask you. So, what was your introduction to Batman and Superman? Like, how did you get introduced to those characters? Since you said those were your big two.
Yeah.
So how did you get like initiated with all this DC stuff?
Right. So my dad is pretty much the reason behind all of it. He's a huge nerd himself. He liked, you know, the original Star Wars. He's crazy about that and got me into that. Batman 66. So Adam West, and we, you know, he always grew up with that and that version, and you know, I always wanted to be like him. So you know, I was just like, oh, like I'm gonna watch that too. But my first introduction that I really remember was the Batman animated series with Kevin Conroy, which is, even as an adult watching that, it's phenomenal. Same with Superman. It would probably be the Superman animated film because, you know, they did like the Batman and Justice League and all them. So that was really my introduction to those characters. And I just loved it. I mean, it's something I grew up with. Kevin Conroy, to me, like every time I hear Batman, it's just like Kevin Conroy's voice.
Yeah, definitely.
They just hold up. Like now with HBO Max, like they released like all the episodes again, and I'm like rewatching them, and it's just they're great.
Yeah, they still hold up. Even like today, if you like, you know, if you're an adult and you haven't even grown up with any of these shorts or episodes, like watching it as an adult, it still holds up on its own. You know, you don't need to be a kid to enjoy them. They're very, you know, they're very dark and really, really awesome stories.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
They don't like treat the audiences like they're kids. You know, they're pretty mature stories.
No, which is good. I mean, and I appreciate you know, like the Adam West and the campy 66 Batman, but like he's meant to be gritty and dark, and I like that. So definitely.
Because it's true to the character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you mentioned that you do modeling. What can you tell us about your collaboration with Superhero Apparel? You do the Superwear. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a really cool experience to kind of blend my, you know, athletic background and working out a lot with, you know, the cosplay stuff. So I was fortunate enough to ambassador for a company called I Am Superhero. They do like superhero workout apparel, which is really great, and it's just a really cool site. They have, you know, Batman, Nightwing, Captain America, Wolverine from DC and Marvel. And it's just a cool opportunity to you know, show off, you know, brands that are up and coming, that are, you know, fit the genre, but also do some pictures as just me too, which is really cool. And it's very different than doing cosplay. It is kind of nice to have like just like a normal picture of yourself on Instagram or Facebook from time to time. And, you know, my friends joke me like, you weren't a character, like you were just you, like, what's up with that, dude? But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You just get opportunities with brands that honestly, like I didn't know that existed before this. And, you know, they're really great. They always have really cool apparel, and you know, my closet's full of just really cool goodies now, which is always a nice plus. But yeah, I've always just loved being in front of a camera. Even as a little kid, I was just like, want my picture taken all the time and would dress up. My mom was like that. So yeah.
No, that's really cool. So did they contact you through like your social media accounts?
Yeah.
Is that how they found you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they were pretty mutual. You know, I would see, you know, kind of through the grapevine or see other cosplayers, just maybe rock their apparel, and was just like, hey, I really like that. And they would see like I like their stuff, and then we would just have an open communication and see if it was something that would be a good fit. I mean, for me, it's also important to be with brands that promote like positivity and not just they have like a message behind instead of just just about making money or anything like that, but they have like a passion for what they do, and will promote and support you as well. So I'm big on that. So I try and be kind of selective with different brands. You get asked a lot of times by all kinds of companies. That there's been a couple where it's just like straight women stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with this, but no, I don't. But no, it's very cool, and I'm very like humbled to be able to do that with some of the brands.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. Cool. I wanted to ask you, like, since you're mentioning messages, I want to. So, what is your message? What are you trying to spread across on your social media accounts? Do you have a message, or like just like, go.
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think for like adults and within the cosplay community, I think it's one of those things where promoting positivity. Really, I think it's important, and I get asked quite a bit, like, oh, I'm not 6'3", or like I'm not 230 pounds, like I couldn't be Superman and Batman. I'm like, why not? Like it's anybody can be these characters. They're fictional characters, and what cosplay is about is being supporting and showing off characters that mean a lot to you personally, and you don't need to look a certain way, or you don't need to act a certain way. Like, you're just doing it for fun. So really just honing in on that positivity of you can be whatever you want to be, supporting other people as well. I mean, I didn't know, and the thing that surprised me the most getting into all this is how much work it takes to do some of these characters. I mean, for these people to make costumes, and the hours they put in, and then the photographers and the editors. So it's just like a whole nother world that I don't know how to do. But people put their heart and guts into this thing. So if you see somebody with a cool picture, like, show it off, like, comment on it, share it. It's cool, and especially in this day and age, in the world where there's been so much crap and and hatred and all these different things, it's a cool platform and a way to bring people together. And what's cool about cosplay is no matter what, you have something in common. Like, you're a fan of something or somebody, and it can really bring you together. So I think for adults, I would think that's my message that hopefully gets across. And then, again, like, I got to begin with to help and promote for like kids and do hospital visits, which unfortunately, because of COVID, haven't really been able to do. But I do stuff with like an organization called Operation Birthday Rescue, where they take like sick kids or kids who have birthdays, and they have like a character they love. You can do like a video and send it to their parents for them to open, and just stuff like that. I think just being able to help people and use these characters in a way to help people that you couldn't as yourself. And I think that was the main reason I got into to begin with, and something I love doing.
That's really awesome, especially because a lot of people, like you said, they are fictional characters, but the artists, they just had to choose something that they look like. This is what they chose for them to look like. That doesn't mean that's what every Superman is going to look like. You can still be a Superman, or you can still be a Wonder Woman or a Batman, even if that's not what you look like.
That's the thing. It's like, like, I'll even use Superman for example, because since I do him, it's like I don't look like Henry Cavill. Like, nobody really looks like Henry Cavill, but he's not Superman either. Like, he just plays him. You know what I mean? Like Clark Kent's Superman. Like, there's like a million different looking superheroes. There are Superman. There's Supermans that are African American, or white and Caucasian, or ones with mullets when he comes back from in the black suit. Like, they all look different. So you don't need to look like an actor. They're not the character either. They're just, and it's one of those things, like, if you do look like the actor, like, of course, like, that's cool. Like, it's really, really neat, but you don't need to look like anybody or be built a certain way to have fun with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
Say it louder for the people in the...
Yeah, exactly.
We're all Superman, I think that's kind of like the message that that he wants to bring across. Like, we kind of all have that within ourselves. So definitely bring it outside yourself. All these people out there can be whatever you kind of want to be. So just kind of bring yourself out there and get it going. If you know, if you want to, if you feel comfortable doing that,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. And it's cool. I see a lot of people too. Like if you do a character, like also you're not that character. Like it's okay for other people to cosplay that character. Like I don't get like defensive if I see another person do Superman. It's like, that's great. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not,
Yeah.
people get so defensive, like, no, like I'm like this part. It's like, no, you're not. Like it's makeup. It's not real. It's okay. Like
Yeah, it's like a cross multiverses or something, you know, like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but people say some weird stuff. You're just like, oh, like I didn't. Oh, you're Bob Kane. I didn't know you created Batman. That's so cool. You aged so well. You know, it's like.
So I wanted to ask you with like you were mentioning collabs. Do you have any highlights with like collaborations that you have done with cosplay? I know you mentioned Liz Wonder. Do you is there anything that kind of sprouts out to your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. It's honestly my favorite part so far of cosplaying is doing collaborations because there are people that I've never met, half of them across the world or in another state, and you know I've never met them, but you can come together and come up with a really cool idea and just kind of make this thing where it looks like you shot right next to each other, and it's just a very cool way to kind of network yourself, to make friends, and also come up with some cool stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a couple like solo shots that are really cool, but I would much rather do like a collab with other people. So a few, like obviously the ones with lists were really cool. And once you gain like friendships with people and then you do collabs together, like it's really exciting. I recently did one with Melbourne Superman and Colorado Kryptonian, who he did a Kingdom Come Superman. She did Supergirl. So it's like very cool to kind of bring like the Kryptonian fam together. That was really cool. Saddle Up, who's pretty well known with Batman, and his girlfriend Elena, who's in Germany. He's in LA. I'm in DC. We've done multiple Trinity edits. We did like a dark, spooky Halloween edit one time. We did Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman against Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers for Halloween. We've done like cyborg character. You just have fun with it. So yeah, any collabs, I'm all about it.
That's so fun, especially really with technology now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Like it's funny. Like my pictures, like the black suit. Like I don't own a black suit. Like that's all editing. It's great. Like there's actually one. It was one of those mind blowing things I've done a lot with Ryan Sims, who, if you haven't seen his page, go follow him right now. He is literally the most talented human being with editing that I've ever met. But he he did this edit of me with the black suit, and he gave me a beard in the picture. Like I don't have a beard in the picture, but he like literally gave me facial hair. I'm like incapable of growing like a full beard. Like I have a baby face so bad. So I was like, oh, that's what I would look like. But I was like, you can do that? Like you can just give me that? And I'm just blown away by some of the stuff you could do. So yeah, and two, with the collabs, you get to work with like artists who do like the editing and things like that. So you just get to meet some really, really talented people. I mean, some of them are level I'm like, how are you not working on like movies? Because this is like ridiculously complex stuff that you're just like nailing.
Yes. Some of the artists out there on Instagram are like better than the concept artists I see like in the actual film world. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like you hired like
exactly
what you're saying. It's crazy.
Exactly.
And there's just so much more coming out every single day, and you see all these people with different talents. It's like, please, someone hire you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all for it.
Okay, so we're getting into the real nitty gritty now. So you worked on the Snyder Cut. What was that like?
Yes.
we're just slipping it right in there.
Associate producer. Yeah, no. It was awesome. First off, that movie was a complete masterpiece. I've been fortunate enough to have through the Apparel app get a chance to have Zack like some of my pictures, which is like easily the coolest thing I've ever happened to me. But just to see, he's such a good person, him and his wife, and using the Snyder Cut not only to make an awesome movie, but to raise awareness for the suicide prevention society. And you can see even with this shirt, the letter A here for his daughter Autumn, which, you know, obviously tragically, you know, passed when they shot it. But just to see kind of that whole journey of what he went through and never, you know, really not ever thinking it was going to come to light. And it was a movement really by fans that got it made. And I think it's like probably the first time, at least that I can recall, where truly like the fans got a movie greenlit, and especially after all that time and what happened with the theatrical version and all the drama. And it was just very surreal and unbelievable to see it when it actually came out. I remember just watching, like, I cannot believe I'm watching like the Snyder Cut right now. This is like years of work and people clamoring and promoting and hashtagging and like, please. And it finally came. And the beautiful thing is it was better than I even could have ever hoped it would be. And now it's like restore the Snyderverse, and everybody who is like hating on it is now like, oh, this guy is like, this is amazing, let's do it. And it's just been very surreal to watch from afar.
It probably was almost like an out of body experience when you watched it.
It really was. I literally turned like multiple times. Like, I cannot believe I'm watching this right now. I was just so, and I couldn't believe, you know, I'd heard, you know, the rumblings of just like, you know, how little of the actual Zack Snyder version was in the theatrical version, but it just blew me away how different it was. Like, in how different the characters were. I mean, like Flash and Flash especially, but Flash and Cyborg and Wonder Woman. I mean, they're all like literally the tone of them was so different. And then, you know, Ray Fisher and, you know, all the stuff he's gone through, and to see his character really, really shine. And he was my favorite part of the movie for sure. And and then also see Darkseid, which, you know, if you're a huge DC fan, to see Darkseid on the screen was just incredible. So it was just an unbelievable experience. And hopefully we get to see more from it.
What kind of responsibilities do you have, like, as an associate producer? Like, what comes with that? With that title?
Promote.
Right.
You just restore the Snyderverse. You just really just try and get it out there about, you know, getting people to want to see this thing, to watch it, to really appreciate Zack Snyder's work. And really it's just a lot of marketing and campaigning and cosplaying and just doing whatever it takes for people to see, you know, how bad we wanted this movie to be made. And there are a lot of other, you know, lists and a lot of other cosplayers got involved, and, you know, we all cosplayed in our suits and, you know, added like the Zack Snyder logo and did different things. So it's just really fun, and just trying to find creative ways to help promote really what we wanted. And eventually they heard it. I think it got to the point where it was so big, they're like, oh, okay, we got to do this.
Did you dress up to watch it? Did you get all in gear and, all right, I'm ready for this?
I genuinely thought about it, but I didn't want to massively lose like 30 pounds of water weight. 4 hours. I also can't go to the bathroom when I get in that suit. So I'm like, it's 4 hours long, and there's a lot of snacks that I want to eat. So I'm not going to risk it. So I thought about it.
You want to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I'll go as Steve, but I know he's not in it, so I'm just gonna enjoy it and watch it. I wore this.
He's there in spirit. Yeah,
I'm gonna enjoy it as myself.
He's there in spirit. Yeah.
Did you see it with other people, or did you take a moment to see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it opening the pretty much right when it opened or came out with. The guy who does the majority of my photography, Brian Cox Photography, which was incredible. He's got like a big setup in TV, and we just got together. And then the very next day, I watched it with my parents because, like I said, my mom loves Wonder Woman, and she's obsessed with Jason Momoa, so she's like, I'm in if he's in it. And then you know, my dad, like I said, is a geek at heart too, and he was just like, so it's cool to like watch it, you know, with them and see their reaction. It was like, it's so good. And like, yeah, yes. And I just wish that the cinemas, they just opened here, but when it came out, it wasn't open yet. I would have loved to have seen it like an IMAX on a big screen and all that stuff. But I've seen it a lot of times. It's great.
Were you on set at all, or were you were more aside, right?
No, I wasn't on set or anything like that. I wish I was cool enough to say like I got to do any of that stuff, but no, I just tweeted and put pictures up and hashtags and literally just try to campaign to get it made. And then also a lot of the cool thing is, you do a lot of the American Society of Suicide Prevention, doing, donating to them and helping, really the cause, because Zack Snyder didn't get a dime from doing the movie. It was all towards that foundation, for suicide prevention. So promoting that as well.
Yeah. I know they filmed most of the movie like
long time ago. Yeah, long time ago, like 2017, 2016.
Yeah. I mean, I know they reshot some stuff, but I don't know how much they really did with the reshoots. I know with the ending, spoilers with the Joker scene, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I could really
I think
recall.
the Martian Manhunter stuff and like the scene with Ben at the end with Martian Manhunter. I don't know if you noticed, but Ben's face is like significantly thinner.
Skinnier.
Yeah. He's not. So but it wasn't much. I think that was probably about. I'd imagine that was probably like the reshoots, something like that.
What about that Martha scene? Like, how, I mean, minor spoilers. Martian Manhunter disguises himself as Martha Kent. Is that a reshoot or was that original? Like, was that originally in the movie? It's hard to really know.
I do not know. I had the same question. I was like, that's. I feel like it was a reshoot in the sense of I felt like they shot that scene as Martha, and then they're like, we need to get Martian Manhunter in here. So there's your way. So that'd be my guess. But unfortunately, I wish I had Zack Snyder on my speed dial or something so I could just call and ask. But I don't know.
Yeah, no.
How did you?
Really
go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
How did you get this opportunity? Like, this is such an amazing opportunity both for you and obviously for Zack Snyder. How did you and the project kind of come together?
Yeah, so really, it's what's crazy about the project is really at the end of the day, anybody could have got into it. Because a lot big thanks to Liz Wonder on this. I'm on an app called Vero, which is another social media app, and it's fantastic. But Liz is an actual ambassador for them. And with Instagram, you hear like the algorithms, and if people get shadow banned and blah blah blah. Anyways, Vero is an app that's pretty relatively new and up and coming, but it doesn't have like the algorithms, and you can do different capabilities. But Zack Snyder is like one of the like originators, basically, as well as like Ray Fisher on Vero. So like through Liz, she's gotten a chance to really communicate with him and meet him a couple of times and stuff like that. But I got I got Vero fairly early as well, and just seeing how you can promote and really they just rewarded everybody who would help promote the movie and give you a little associate producer thing for helping out and volunteering and donating and marketing and I think he realized it was a movie made by the fans, so why not let the fans get a little piece of the prize? And it's cool. I mean, I don't know how like official it is, but I can walk around with this shirt with associate producer on the back, and it's just a very, very, very cool thing. It made you feel really a part of it, even though I never got to be on set or I wish I got to meet like Henry or Ben or Gal. Oh, Lord Gal. But still, it was very cool. And you felt like pride while watching the film because you worked so hard.
Yeah, that's really cool. Though, do you like get your name in the credits or anything? Like, how does that? Yeah, like.
No, I wish that would be. I would have had it screenshotted and it would be my profile picture. Yeah, no, I wish it was something like that. Unfortunately, it's just a little pat on the back for myself.
No, I mean, you got an awesome shirt. You should be proud of that. Like you're connected with it at all. That's really an achievement.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh man, I wish I remembered the name of the site. I'll give it to you guys after. There's a website you can go And if you donate to the American Federation of Suicide Prevention, they actually will send you one of these as well. So I will give the link, and you can get yourself one.
No, that'll be awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I definitely would wear that like every day.
Yeah, it's
I don't
called
want to stick it up.
inktothepeople.com. Inktothepeople.com.
Okay.
To the people.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely like put that in the link after this is all uploaded by by tomorrow. So yeah, inktothepeople.com.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. I wanted to ask you, with Batman and Superman being your like two big favorites, what's your favorite live action? I guess we'll start with Batman. What's your favorite live action Batman and animated Batman? And same question for Superman.
Oh my gosh. Live action Batman's definitely Ben Affleck. He to me, he is the animated Batman that I grew up with in real life. I mean, to me, he looks the part, and the suit is beautiful, and he really balanced the aspect of Bruce and Batman very well. And you saw his evolution within Batman v Superman, where he's this super like pissed off Batman from like the Dark Knight Returns, and you really you see it, and then you see him take on that more leadership role that you saw a little bit more in like the Justice League animated series, and to see his evolution within those two movies was awesome. I like everyone else, I wish he could get like his own spin-off series or his own solo film, because I thought he was just tremendous. I obviously hold a huge appreciation for the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins for Christopher Nolan, because he's such an awesome filmmaker. But Ben's my favorite Batman live action. Kevin Conroy, obviously, for animation. Superman. Superman's tough because Henry is awesome. I love Henry. I just love him as an actor, period. So I would probably say him. Although I truly believe that if Brandon Routh would have got a better script, possibly with his movie, he, I think, embodied kind of a lot of Christopher Reeve, which is also, he's the original. I mean, he's amazing. And Henry, I think he's kind of a beautiful blend of the two. And I really think if he got like a fair crack and got his own, another, maybe a more action-packed Superman film, that he would have been the guy. And I've always said, within my own friends, I think Henry actually would have been an amazing Batman, because he's like a dark, and he's got look at him with The Witcher. I mean, he's dark and he's brooding. I mean, he's literally Bruce Wayne, and I mean, he would nail it. But he's an amazing Superman. He's definitely an amazing Superman. So I'll go with Henry and Ben. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You kind of like went through all the decades of Superman, which is cool, because you got to honor all of them, you really do.
I mean, and honestly, with my Superman suit, what I tried to do was with all my suits, really, with cosplay, I don't try and do like a movie version. I try and do like my version, and make it a little unique. So, I have a little bit of Christopher Reeve suit in there with like the symbol of the S. I have a little bit of the Brandon Routh, like the coloring, and then a little bit of like the more futuristic look with the cape and stuff from Henry. So it's actually a little bit of a blend of all of them, which at least I try to get a little bit of a blend of all of them, just because they all have done such a great job and bring their own take to the character. And same for Batman. Whenever I do him, it'll be more of a hush comic style, but a little bit of Ben, a little bit of Conroy's, just a little bit of everybody. It's fun.
I was going to ask you if you draw any inspiration from anyone specific.
Yeah, again, all of them. Honestly, too, what's cool is for a while, thank God for my wallet, I got out of this hobby, but I collected sideshow statues for a while. I don't know if you've seen them. But they had a Superman. There's a Superman statue they did where he's on top of Brainiac's ship, and my suit is actually almost identical to that one, because that's what they did, was take a little bit of everybody. And I was like, yep. Like when I sent the picture of what I was kind of looking for, that was the picture. And then Batman, I took a little bit of Hush and a little bit of their statue, again, another statue from Sideshow, and kind of blended the two because it's a little bit of everybody. So yeah, it's actually a mix between the movies and toys.
Do you have a favorite collectible, like, or memorabilia or anything like that you have in your own possession?
Yes. Hold on, I'll grab it. It's really easy to grab.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
That's cool. That it's right there.
It's not as cool, like big or anything as. It's this guy here.
I like that.
This was my dad's from the original Star Wars film.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's got more of like a sentimental value. So I would say that, and I have a Luke as well. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have like a Mando helmet and Baby Yoda, which are also
I love that.
Also really cool. And then there's one guy that was kind enough, did this art print of me as Superman and did this, and that was really flattering as well.
So cool.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, that was really, really flattering. So just stuff like that. I think just something with some sentimental value. Although I did go on a limb and buy the Aragon and Legolas statue from Prime 1, and now I've started that again. So those will probably be right there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I have like a toy collection, but very small. I don't want to like you said, like dump my whole wallet on these toys.
Yeah,
but I'm slowly like getting involved. I'm like, I gotta stop. You know?
Yeah, I try and stick to like Funko Pops and stuff if I can help it. They're like way more or less budget and stuff like that. So
right.
When you see that one though, you gotta like, oh, I need it, but I don't. But I need it, but I don't.
I know it's really bad. And then they tempt you with payment plans, and then you're like, oh, it's like you don't have to pay that much, but then it's like, oh god, yeah. I'm literally like 30 going on 13. I just want like toys. My girlfriend's like, please stop.
Yeah, well, that's basically how I am too. I mean, that's like all of us here at BatYard's.
Just one more. Just one more.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
I wanted to ask you. Sorry. I wanted to ask you, how do you keep in shape for these cosplays? I know obviously it's kind of like physically demanding. You have to take on the role of these characters. So, you know, what do you do kind of to fit those roles?
That is a great question. Well, like I said, I grew up playing football, so I'm fortunate enough where just growing up having to play sports, you know, I worked out for the majority of my life, and fitness is a great something that's always been a passion of mine, and it just, you know, helps me stay healthy and get energized. But it's really cool, you know, for a while once you're done playing, you work out to stay healthy, but you don't really have like a purpose or like a reason to work out. Whereas now it's like, oh, like I'm gonna, you know, dress as this person or this person. So like you kind of feel like you have a reason, which is cool. It's like a little motivation. But for me, I actually personally went through a pretty large body transformation a couple of years ago. I ruptured my appendix and was like a real bad health situation. I lost a bunch of weight. Again, I'm like just under 6'3", and I was down, I think, to like 150 pounds. I was really, really skinny because I couldn't like. But you know, I kind of used trying to get into this as a way to build myself back up, and I put on 73 pounds since then.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I work out like 6 days a week, about 2 hours a day. I do a lot of powerlifting. I Googled a lot of like what Henry Cavill did for Man of Steel, or you know, what certain actors did to bulk up for certain roles, and just kind of knowledge from football. I just try and eat clean. I just go to the gym pretty much every day and throw some weights around. But yeah, that's really my thing. I think if you, for people who want to like get in shape or gain weight, like my thing is just go, like just go. I mean, if that's the hardest part, is just getting your butt in there and starting. Take your time, because it takes months. It doesn't, you know, to see any results. It usually takes like 3 months before you even see anything. And then, you know, take it slow. But if you want to gain weight, do sets of 5 reps or less and just go really heavy. If you want to lose weight, then do like, you know, a lot of reps and just go until you can't do anymore. And it's bad and I eat healthy. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I've always, through my family and sports, always worked out. And now because of cosplay, it gives me a reason to stay motivated and try and go. It's to the best of my ability. I still enjoy eating a lot. In that, like I will be snacking at the movie theater tonight, but in doses.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you have like a dedicated meal plan or anything like that, or you just kind of try to
I
eat
did
clean?
for a while, and honestly, I started going nuts.
That's really tough.
It just, I realize like it's important, but like I don't like you gotta have some fun with it, and so I just. You know, once a week or something like that, I'll go crazy and just eat whatever I want. But other days, I just try and eat, you know, chicken and fish and vegetables and just try and keep my portions right. And if you just do that, you know, you'll to some degree, you know, find some success there. So.
I'm impressed that you find the time. You produced a movie, you cosplay, you have a full social life, you go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm impressed at where you find the time to do all this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds way better when you just said like I did not produce much. I was just literally just throwing on a hashtag. It wasn't hard, but I wake up pretty early. Thanks to my dog, he gets me up early as can be anyway. But yeah, he probably gets you out. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I'm pretty boring outside of like work. I go to the gym, and speaking of Superman, I live on a farm, so it's very peaceful, and I just hang out here and watch movies, and I have a little more free time than you would think, more than I care to admit.
What your dog is? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Leah.
I was just gonna say with the illustration of you as Superman. Do you hang that up and look at it and then go to the gym and say I'm gonna look like that?
He already looks like that.
It's I look at my muscle suit and I just say one day that would be nice. It's just no, it's I just try and do the, you know. You just try. I try my best to just embody as best as you can, but I just try and the older I get, the more it hurts and the harder it gets. So I don't try and get to like again like if I'm like, oh, you know, I don't want to try and look like Henry Cavill because I know I couldn't do it if I tried to. The amount of dedication it would take to get to that is just nuts. So I just try and put the time in and just get to the best that I can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I wanted to ask you with your dog. I mean, he probably keeps you active as well. What's your dog's name, by the way?
His real name is Coda. Everyone kind of knows him as Crypto.
Right.
He one of my friends, actually, Elena, she was nice enough to edit one of his pictures once with like a Superman collar and a red cape. But he's really cool. He's a German Shepherd Husky mix. He's beautiful. He's my best friend. I adopted him 3.5 years ago, and yeah, we go for, you know, an evening, a morning, like long walks, and he just stares at me as I work every day. He's just the chillest dog ever. He just likes being around. So yeah, he means a lot to me. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's a really cool mix. I mean, German Shepherd Husky, that must be really cool.
Yeah, he's like, he looks like a German Shepherd. He's all white, but he has a brown patch on his eye, and then he has freckles, like brown freckles all over him. He's a very unique looking, but he's he looks like an intimidating dog, but he's a big wuss. Like he's literally just like the funniest.
Yeah, so you're like the real life Clark Kent. I mean, you got a farm, you know, you got crypto, you know.
I wish.
You do it all.
I wish. That would be nice. But yeah, I grew up on a farm, lots of horses and cows and sheep and goats and miniature donkeys and cornfields and all that stuff. Actually, if you look on my Instagram, we did like a little fun, like almost like it wasn't a fan film. It was more like just a trailer for Superman. And you see like cornfield stuff. That was all on the farm where like I live next to.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So there must be a lot of maintenance, a lot to take care of, you know, with all that going on.
A lot of lawnmowers. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it helps with your tan, you know. So
it does. My mom's like part Native American Indian, so we get like super tan. But it's funny, like in the summertime, if you want to like cosplay a character, like I would purposely like try and stay out of the sun to try not to get like, I didn't want to look like Gustavo, like doing Superman, like super dark tan. So it's like I'd have these horrible tan lines, and then Batman, I'd have like these like tan lines like here. Is not a good look. Not a cute look.
Yeah, I heard in like during Smallville, Tom Welling wasn't allowed to tan because apparently Kryptonians don't tan. I don't know if that's
there you go.
You know, I mean, if you ever heard that before, but that's the only time I ever heard Superman doesn't tan. I guess it makes sense. You know? I don't know.
Have to do a little more research.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm glad. I'm really humbled that you had time to come on the show, and I really appreciate you know, your interest in even you know, speaking with us. This was a blast.
No.
I would love to do this again.
Oh yeah, anytime. This is great. I'm always available, despite what you think. My schedule's pretty free in the evenings, and no, I'd be happy to. I'm very, very, very honored to be on, and you guys are great. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Anytime. Like, I mean, I'll be moving pretty soon, so hopefully I get like a more of a fancier setup for the next time.
Oh,
so,
it looks good. It looks good, dude.
We'll see. Thank you. So Leah, do you have any final things you want to ask before we close the interview? Or
where can your fans and hopefully new fans find you on social media?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram, Superman14jf. You can also find me on Vero. If you're not on Vero, definitely check it out. Their app is awesome. So big shout out to them. Also Superman14jf and Twitter, Superman14jf. So very easy to remember, right across the board. And seriously, like reach out to me anytime, message me. I love meeting new people and talking and having any questions. I love it. So yeah, add me, follow me, message me. Anything. I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
And like we said before, if you need like any promotion from us or anything from our end, you know, we're more than willing to help you out. So, you know, we'll do what we can.
I will. I appreciate that. Yeah. And start training for Robin and Batgirl. We'll need to get you guys ready to roll. And I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll do whatever I can, you know, to be the boy wonder, you know.
There you go.
Boy wonder.
Well, okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess we're gonna close out the episode. So 3, 2, 1. This was Josh from BatYard Productions sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
Becoming super fans, one show at a time.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I said, this was a blast. We love it.
This was very fun. I definitely appreciate you guys having me on. I would do this anytime, so feel free to keep doing this for sure. Also, if you want to see, hopefully my computer doesn't die.
Yeah.
This is the bat suit I was talking about.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. So it's gonna be really cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Look, I even have a Robin mask.
I'm excited to see
there you go.
There you go, Josh.
Yeah, I'll wear the domino man. Yeah. That would be fantastic.
But that's it. So I have to squeeze into that.
I'm sure it just slips in like a banana
well,
peel, you know, like
right now I don't have a place to put it, so it's just like hanging in the corner of my my bedroom. So at night sometimes I like wake up and I just see this big looming figure and I'll forget it's there and I'm just like, oh god, I'm being haunted, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's I'm good.
Yeah, you know what? I actually had a similar experience where my nephew, he had this car seat that was shaped like Batman. So like there was this car seat that was Batman, and I was driving my mother's car, and I turned my head, and there's freaking Batman behind me. I'm like, oh my god! So like I totally know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
you know? It just like appears in the shadows of the night. You know?
My cousins, I have a cousin who has a little boy who he's like in the comics and stuff. And he actually thinks I'm Superman, and I've completely duped myself because sooner or later he's going to catch on. But every time he's like, Superman, I'm like, oh no. I've really doomed myself with this one. So yeah, the little kids are hilarious.
Let him put on the suit, and then he'll be like, "Oh no, I'm Superman."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be really confused when Uncle Superman becomes Batman. He's gonna be like, "I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening."
Yeah, it'll be like that one episode of Superman the animated series, Nighttime. Have you ever seen that?
Absolutely. My favorite part is when he's got the grapple gun and he's reaching, and Robin's like, "It's on your other side." He's like, oh,
yeah. I love that. I love that episode. Yeah, it'll be great. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jake, so much for coming on. Like I said, more than welcome anytime. And enjoy the movie.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Are you guys gonna see it?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna see it.
Yeah.
Just like on HBO Max. I know we're going to talk about it with my buddy Matt and I. We usually do these retrospectives on the podcast, so we kind of interchange with the interviews and retrospectives. So that'll be next week. This is
the first time in theaters since Birds of Prey. That was the last movie I saw in theaters, and it's been a while. It's crazy, so it's going to be exciting. Like I really wish like Kong versus Godzilla and Snyder Cut, just because there's such like theater experiences. It would have been so cool to see that with a big audience, but. Yeah. I'll take Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's a good one too.
Yeah, at least you get something. You know what? It's just starting. It's just starting lightly.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for coming on, and that was awesome.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good weekend.
Absolutely.